Okay, here we go. Hello, COVID kids. Feel better soon. Oh, maybe I should change this. There, okay. So if you want to get a snack from your parents tonight, if you want them to give you ice cream, you are going to go home and you're going to say that this is what you did in class, and they're going to be so impressed with it, they will get you ice cream. I don't know if that's true, but maybe it is. Because here's what we're doing. Graphing. You don't have to write this. Polynomials with, ooh, with multiplicities. Oh, that looks so scary. Multiplicities. With multiplicities. It's a crazy word. Here's what it means. We're going to be having some exponents in these guys, right? And you know how sometimes I use the Mrs. Tarantino things, and you're like, if you ever go into pre-calc, the pre-calc teachers, when they say it, when Sabrina goes, oh, you claw that, the pre-calc teachers do this, and because they get tired of me saying weird things. We're going to talk about two things tonight that are not Mrs. Tarantino-isms. They are real things. They're called wiggling and bouncing. And they're not my goofy words. That they really are how they describe that. So here's what I want you to think about. It's a weird way of thinking about tonight's stuff. So imagine my same strange story that we're going to Disneyland. And I'm telling you the towns we drive through, right? But it turns out we might want a snack in some of these towns, right? Sometimes we will get off the freeway and we will go because we saw an In-N-Out, and we will realize the In-N-Out has too long a line, so we're going to head right back on the freeway. And sometimes we're going to get off the freeway, we're going to see In-N-Out does not have a long line because it's 10 o'clock at night, and we were going to actually take a few minutes, have a snack, and then keep on driving. That's what we're doing tonight. You're going to see how that all works. So here's what I want to start with. You don't have to write this first one. You're just going to watch this first one. If we did a problem that looks like this, we say y equals x minus 4. No, you don't have to write it. You can just watch. X plus 3. If we were doing this one, it's super easy. It's just a 2. It's going to look like a W, and in this case, it's just going to look like a U. And here's what we would do. We go here and here. We go up and up, and we just go like this. We drive through town, make a turn, drive through another town, right? We're heading to Disneyland. We're not even stopping, man. We're just driving through a couple towns. We're going Highway 5, and I think there's like 2 towns, and we just drive right through them. Here's what happens tonight. Here's going to be the first one that you are going to write. You guys ready? So please write this. Y equals x plus 3 x minus 2 with. Okay. Now, here's what's new. This guy right here. In real life, if we were counting our answers, we don't just have 2 answers. We really have 3 answers, right? We have this guy, and we have this guy twice. Oh. 2 and 2, right? We have 2 of them. Somehow on our graph, we need to let people know that that 2 is special. It's not just a regular 2. It's powerful. There's really 2 of them. And that's called a multiplicity. When you have multiple ones, you have more than just one of them, you have multiple ones. And so here's the first thing that we're going to say. So you're going to write this down. If the exponent is even, then you bounce. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Bounce. Spell it right. I'm always so afraid that parents are watching my videos. That's terrifying. Okay, we're going to bounce. And you're going to think, what the hell does that mean? You're going to see. So we're going to do everything that we normally do. First thing we need to do is count our x's. But we need to count carefully. Let's count them. We have 1, 2, 3. Do you guys see why we have 3? Because that one counted for 2. Is that cool? So our degree is a third degree. Is everybody cool with that? Yes.
Wouldn't the second two be negative?
No, it's going to be the same. It's just we have two. If it's squared, it's just 2 parentheses next to each other. Does that make sense? And I could actually write it like that: x minus 2, x minus 2, right? But that's that's the faster way to do it. Okay, so here's where it's going to get weird. Let's talk about the shape of this guy. He's a third degree, and he's positive. Is he a bolt or a W? He's a bolt. And are good things happening, or are things getting worse? Good things happening. So could you make that little drawing right there? It should look like that at the end. If it doesn't, I've made a mistake. Now, our end behavior means I'm going to start low. I'm going to end up high, right? Right that minute, put it on your drawing. Start low, end high. Touch me.
So when it says end behavior, do you have to say down, up, to, or just?
I'm cool either way, right? But it's either draw me the drawing or put the words, right? But I do both because I like having them both there. Okay, here comes our zeros. Now watch what we're going to do here. We're going to write -3, and we're going to write 2, and I'm going to put a teeny tiny b there because something weird's happening there. Something weird's happening there. So if everyone's ready, I'm going to show you how to graph this guy. I have a dot at -3. I'm going to have a dot at 2, but I'm going to put a little tiny b there to remind myself something weird happens there. So, in Mrs. Tarantino's weird world, we are driving through -3. We're not stopping the car. We're driving through it. We're heading toward the 2. We see that there is an in and out, and we're excited. We get off the freeway. But there's a big line, so we bounce out of there and we drive away. That's a bounce. A bounce means you touch it and change direction.
You get scared.
Well, the line's too long, it's going to be an hour before you get your food. So here's what I want you to put that a bounce is.
Is it like a?
A bounce is a touch and change direction. And change direction. Oh, I can't even write that. Okay. Change direction. Questions to that? Are we okay? So let's try one together. You guys ready? So let me clear off all that ink. Here we go. You write this one down. I love this one. Okay, here we go. Everybody ready? Step 1, count our x's. Count carefully. So what I'd like you to do is whisper to your neighbor what you think the degree is on this guy. What do you think it is? So whisper right now. I should hear like 18, 21. I'm messing the COVID kids up. 31, 16, 11, 15. Did you get 4?
Yeah.
Did you get 4? Yeah, sure, it's 4.
Is this one going to be a little?
Not yet. We're just bouncing because it's even, because you know what? The exponent is even, so we're just bouncing.
Oh, okay.
Right? The exponent is even, so it's going to have a bounce. Let's take a look. It's a 4. Here are my choices. Is it a W or is it an M?
A W.
It's a W because it's positive. You got it. Which means if you're doing that, it's up, up. I put it right away, right away. Okay, Here comes my zeros, nice and careful. I have one at 0. I have one at -3 where I'm going to bounce, and I have one at +4. Is everybody okay with that? So here's what you want to think about with the bouncing. When you get to that town, you touch it and change direction. You get off the freeway, you see the long line, you get right back on the freeway, right? So here we go. We got a dot here with a bounce. No, sorry, that's supposed to be a 3. Right here with a little bounce. I got a 0 and I got a 4. Okay, I'm starting up here. I'm hungry right off the bat. Someone says, hey, Mrs. Tarantino, there's an In-N-Out. We look at it. Oh my God, the line's too long. Forget it. We bounce out. Oh, I got to drive through this town. And I got to drive through this town. And that's my dad. The 2 tells me to bounce.
Oh.
That's what it's telling you. Good question. That's what that exponent does. If it's even, it tells you to bounce. That could be a 4. That could be a 6. Doesn't matter. It actually turns out the bigger it is, we're not going to get to this point, but in pre-calc, the bigger it is, the more you stay there. So it's like, oh, we get in line, we sit there for a minute, and then we decide, screw it, we're getting out of town. Okay. You guys ready for one of these all on your own? Kind of hard? Okay, here we go. Okay, try this one. Y equals negative, you knew that was coming, x squared, x plus 3, x minus 4. Woohoo! We are really looking for In-N-Out when we can't find it. I mean, we're going there, but they're all big long lines. In a minute, we're going to actually get to stop. I'm going to let you try this one. I'm going to step outside and have a drink of my drink. Andrew H. in my last class came late. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think it was already cleared. I think he was out somewhere. So his mom said, let's try through. And he knew he should bring something. Remember, when you bounce, you touch and change directions. You touch it and change directions. I like bouncing. I like these. I think they're kind of cool. Tomorrow we go backwards. I give you the graph, and you see if you can find places. It's really cool because you're like, oh, we bounced there. That's a square. Oh, we just drove through. That's just a view. It's pretty cool. Look at everyone doing this. Gina, that was looking good. I think you got this. Okay, here we go. I'm counting my X's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5th degree. That is normally a bolt. It will be a bolt, but it's going to be a depressing bolt where things got worse. We started with things getting good, and then they got worse. It's going to look like that. So for the people who want to do it like this, that's a down. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's wrong. It is an up, down. I knew that. I was testing you. It is an up, down. Sorry, COVID kids. Sorry. So here we go. Starting up here, ending up there. Here I go. I need to on my trip. I'm going to go through 0 town, and I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go through -3. No, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to go to 4. I'm going to be looking for something to eat there too. Maybe they'll have something that I want to stop at. So here's what I got. I got 0 with a little bounce. I got -3. And I got 4 with a little bounce. Okay. I drive straight through. There's nothing to eat. I come up. Maybe I'll stop. No, the line's too long. I come back. Oh, another one. Line is still too long. Chick-fil-A. And then I'm out of town. Always, always. And you know the only time I ever want Chick-fil-A? Sundays. Anytime. And it's always like, oh, look, oh, never mind. Yeah. How did we do? How many people got it right? Yeah? Most of you? Okay, right. Okay, I hope you're wiggling out there. It's time now to stop and eat on our trip. We are going to do wiggling. Obviously, we have done even ones, so now we need to do odd exponents. Odd exponents. Okay, here we go. Here's my notes for this. You can write them right along your side of your paper. On odd exponents, we're going to do a thing called a wiggle. And we want to think about this one. We actually stop. The line is not long. We stop for a few seconds, eat some food, and then keep going on our trip. But we do not change direction. This is the part you need to be careful of. No change in direction, but it just has a quick stop. Wait till you see it. You'll see what it looks like. So here's the one that we're trying. Matt's watching because this stuff is new. Okay, so I'd like you to write this one down. Y equals x plus 3 x minus 2 to the third power. The key on this guy is that right there. It's to the third power. It could be to the fifth. It could be to the seventh. And to be honest, the only difference would be is that we'd actually stay a little longer and have a little bit more of a bite to eat. When you see it graphed, it'll all make sense why we call this a wiggle. So let's do everything that we normally do. Let's start by counting our x's. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is everybody cool? Why, that's a fourth degree. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what he is going to be, fourth degree. Our end behavior is either W or M. In this case, it's going to be a W, which would be an up, up, for those people who are more verbal than visual, up and up. Our zeros are going to be at -3 and at 2, where we're going to put a little W, because we're going to stop and eat there, right? We're going to take a hot minute. It's Wendy's. Everyone likes Wendy's. We're going to stop and get one of those shakes that hurt your mouth because you can't really drink it. I hate them. Okay, here we go. We got -3 and we got -2. Watch what a wiggle looks like. Oh, what the holy hell happened there? Did I lose it all? Oh, please come back. Oh, God, that was scary. Sorry, COVID kids. Did that freak you out? Freak me out. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We drive right through. There's nothing here. We make our turn. Watch what happens. Hey, look, there's no line at In-N-Out. Let's have a snack. Yum, that's delicious. Let's keep going on our trip. We wiggle. Well, if you see them on the graphs, it looks like a wiggle. It's just like you got there and you wiggle for a minute. It's a wiggle. Don't judge. Well, to be honest, the bigger the exponent, the longer it is. We want it to be clear that you're not just driving through, that you're actually taking a moment and having a flat part of your graph. No, you don't want to go that big. Absolutely. Good question. So to be honest, in real life, you'd kind of just go, you'd kind of just go like this, right? Because it just kind of flattens out for a minute. That's why it's really more of a wiggle. It just means, do you see the difference? We're just driving straight through. Here, we're taking a hot minute, having a little snack, driving out. Right? And the bigger the exponent, the more flat that would get, right? So if it's to like the 19th, you are totally like resting for a minute. Good question. Okay, you guys want to try? We're going to try 2 more, and then we're going to wrap this baby up. Let me get rid of this ink. Okay, this one's for you, all by yourselves. You got it. Y equals, well, let's go negative. X to the third, X minus 4, X plus 4. I like this one. And I think you can tell what's going to happen on the last one. We're going to be bouncing and wiggling and doing that thing. While you're doing that, I am putting out the answers to tonight. So you can either take a picture or whatever. This is tonight's answers, because there's no sense in doing these and doing them all wrong. So this will be tonight's answers. This will be tonight's answers. Put this one up. And then we have one last one. Here's a wiggle. The degree is intense. But so that will tell you the general shape. But the wiggling has to do with what happens at the specific point.
The exponent, call it the exponent. Well, maybe you need some tutoring.
You were wrong.
See, wait, how does this go now? Is it like, how do you keep it flat?
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Okay, so here's what I got. I got a degree of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means it's a bolt. And I have to ask myself, is it a good bolt where things are getting better? Or is it a bad bolt? It's a bad bolt. Things are getting worse, right? So now I'm going to put on my dots. So I'm going to make sure I hit this town. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Forgot to do that. Up, down. I got this dot. I get so excited. And this dot, and this dot. Now, remember here, we're going to be doing something a little weird at 0. At 0, we're going to stop for a snack, not change direction, just stop for a quick minute and keep on going in the same direction. So here's what happens. We drive through. We don't even stop. We make our turn in between. We get here and think, ooh, yum, have a snack. And then keep going. And then head out.
So you just go higher to show.
I'm doing it just to make it really obvious. Yeah.
Should we do that?
You can. That's fine. Because you can see on your answers it's going to be close. I'm going to do one last one, and then I'm going to be passing out your homework. This one is for you to try all by yourself. You know where we're heading on this last one. Let's put it all together. Y equals, let's do x squared, x minus 4 to the third, and x plus 3 squared. Oh my God. It's craziness. 7. Crazy. Crazy. There you go.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to come?
That worked out perfect. I'm glad you heard that. Because you're really trying to do this on your own.
Yeah.
Hey, there are 14 of these. You need to do 11 of them, and please skip number 6 because number 6 I meant to be squared and I put it 2 in the wrong place.
What's the place?
There's a test on Tuesday. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't see the 7.
That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, are you good?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Skip number 6 and skip 2 other ones. Okay, and on my software, sometimes it puts a dot in between the parentheses just because it doesn't mean anything. It's just my software being weird. And I like tried to get rid of it and it wouldn't do it. Okay, here we go. If you're ready to take a look, or if you're still finishing, I'm going to work on it. It's a 7th degree. I'm showing the fingers that make no sense. It's a bolt, but it's a happy bolt. Good things are happening. It starts at the low side. It goes to the high side. If you're verbal, if that works for you, I'm more visual. My zeros, there's not very many of them. I'm going to do 0, but I'm going to bounce right there. I'm going to do 4. I'm going to wiggle right there. I'm going to do -3. I'm going to bounce right there. So I'm looking for food. I don't find any to the very end, right? So here's where I got a -3. I got a 0. I got a 4. The only time I get to actually rest and eat is at that 4. So here's what happens. I get to the 3 and I bounce. Nothing here. Head out of town. Change directions. Now, turn always between. Up, still no food. Change directions. Hey, there's something to eat here. I'm going to stop. The line's not long. Have a bite. Head out of town. Hard to do. Can I see people who might have gotten this right? That's as hard as it gets. That's it. We're just about done with polynomials. Literally, we just wrap it all up tomorrow, put a bow on it. 11 problems. Skip 6 for sure. Don't be a baby. Try number 14. But if you want to be a baby, you can. Take a picture of the answers, right? So you can check your answers as you go. And I am done. Let me stop my tape. Oh, COVID kids have to watch for 26 minutes. That sucks for them.